Okay? So, balikan lang natin yung lesson about tax evasion last time. We ended in that slide. Okay. So, very quick, no? Maraming klase ng tax evasion. Unang-una, mayroong tax evasion if merong under-declaration of income. Okay? Ibig sabihin, hindi lahat ng income ni-report mo. So, binawasan mo para yung tax mo ay mas konti. Another one, non-declaration of income. Ibig sabihin, may income ka talagang totally hindi mo siya dineclare as income. So you don't want to pay tax, so that's why you did not declare your income. And ito ba? Under appraisal of goods subject to tariff. Ibig sabihin, you import some products from abroad, tapos yung market value ng product na yun ay hindi mo dineclare yung totoong value. Kasi example, ang value ng import mo ay 200,000. So may tax yun, right? Now, pag binabahan mo yung value ng import, for a while lang. Like yung laptop. Okay? Ang import tax kasi or tariff, it is based on the market value of your import. So pag malaki yung market value ng import mo, malaki rin yung tax. Now, pag binabahan mo yung kanyang market value, mababa rin yung tax. In one form of tax evasion is under appraisal of goods subject to tariff. Okay? Hindi mo dineclare yung totoong value ng import mo. That is tax evasion. And the last form of tax evasion is over-declaration of deduction. Ito yung mga tinataasan mo yung mga expenses sa yung business. Pag mataas kasi yung expense, ang income mo ay bababa. Mababa income mo, so mababang iyong tax to be paid. Yun ang ating tax evasion last week. And we're going to continue with this one. Okay, tax evasion. When there is fraud, through pretension and the use of other illegal devices to lessen one's taxes, there is tax evasion. Take note, illegal device ang ginamit mo para mapababa ang tax mo. Under declaration of income, non-declaration of income and other items subject to tax, under appraisal of goods, and over-declaration of deduction. So mayroong dyan, mayroong imprisonment, no? Pag ikaw ay nag-tax evasion. So tax evaders ang tawag sa inyo pag hindi ka nagbayad ng tax. Okay, and classification of income, ito yung mga income na tinatax natin. The most common type of income is your salary, remuneration, employer-employee relationship. Okay. Other one is income from house property. Example, meron kang pinaparenta, no? So meron kang rent income doon. So meron kang tax babayaran sa iyong rent income. And another form of income is the income from business. So meron kang sweldo, meron kang pang pinaparenta, meron kang business. Meron kang pang profession. Okay? Example, accountant. Ang accountant meron siyang sweldo sa company. Then meron siyang pinaparentahan. Tapos meron pa siyang sari-sari store. So income from business yun. Tapos nag-audit pa siya. She is involved in private practice ng accountancy. So meron siyang income from profession. So apat yung kanyang racket. So marami siyang source of income. Another one is the gift or charity. Gift, niregalo sa'yo, dinonate sa'yo. Okay? Or charity, meron nag-donate din sa'yo. So, mga income yan. And capital gains, nagbenta ka ng, for example, meron kang investment. Tapos, kumita yung investment. So, capital gains, tawag natin doon. And another one, ayan, income from salary, income from rent, income from business, income from charity, gift, capital gain. Nagbenta ka. So, meron kang gain, no? Next one, sources of income naman. Saan nagagaling mga income mo, no? meron kang income from within the country, tapos meron kang income from outside the country, no? At meron kang income partly within and without outside the country. Okay? So, yung number 1, that is very common. Alam natin kung paano nangyayari yan, no? Basta meron kang sweldo sa Pilipinas, no? That is sources within the Philippines. Now, number 2, meron kang business sa Singapore. That is sourced without or outside the country. Okay? So, pag yung business mo ay may branch sa Pilipinas, meron din branch sa Singapore, so that is partly within and without, inside and outside the Philippines, yung source of income. Now, yung mga seaman or mga domestic helpers, those are sources outside the Philippines. Okay, and taxable income. Iwanagin natin ang taxable income. Hindi lahat ng income mo i-tax ka agad. May binabawas pa tayo dyan. Okay? Yung mga income na na after ibawas yung mga deductions, okay, yung lalabas na yung mga taxable net income. Ito na talaga yung income na subject to tax after deducting mga expenses or deductions. So the term taxable income means the pertinent items of gross income. Take note, ang gross income hindi pa yan taxable. Gross income less the deductions in personal and additional exemption. Ang kalalabasan niyan ay taxable income. Example, gross income mo 100 isang taon. Gross income 500,000. Tapos meron kang deduction na 100,000. Meron kang pang personal exemption na 200,000. So ang gross income mo ay 500,000. Ang mga deduction mo ay 200,000 plus yung 100,000. Ang total deduction is 300,000. So 500 minus 300 is equal to 200. Okay? So 200,000 now is your taxable income. Yan. So hindi yung buong sweldo mo isang taon ang ita-tax natin. May binabawas pa tayo dyan. Okay. Requisite for income to be taxable. Kailan natin masasabing ang isang income ay babayaran mo ng tax na? Sabi natin kanina, hindi lahat ng income ay taxable. Ito yung mga requisite para matawag natin ang isang income ay taxable. Number 1, sandali lang ha. Okay. Ang income para masabing taxable, number 1, there must be a gain or profit. Okay? Meron kang tubo. So, hindi lahat ng income ay taxable kung yan ay hindi tubo. Example, yung gross income kanina, hindi siya agad taxable. Kasi meron pa tayong ibabawas dyan. And number 2, the gain must be realized or received. Yung gain or profit mo dapat ay natanggap mo talaga siya. Hindi sa hinulaan. Hindi mo siya hindi sa forecast. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin, ngayong taon siguro mayroon akong net income na 10,000. Yun. So, hindi sa taxable. Kasi ang income para maging taxable dapat ay natanggap mo na siya or na-realize, no? Paghula pa lang yan, forecast pa lang yan, so hindi pa siya taxable. And number 3, the gain must not be excluded by law or treaty from taxation. Now, yung income mo dapat or income or gain dapat hindi yan exempted kasi may mga income na exempted eh. May mga passive income no na excluded by law para maging taxable. May paliwanag natin no. Mamaya alamin natin yung mga passive income na hindi siya pwede i-consider as income. Okay, and gain must be realized now. So sabi kanina no, yung profit para masabing taxable, yung profit or gain must be realized or received. kailan sa makakonsider na realize ang isang income or receive para masabi nating taxable? Okay, so this implies that not all economic gains, hindi lahat ng gains daw ay taxable income. Yung gain, sabi ko kanina, no, ang gain must be realized or received para makonsider sang income. So therefore, a mere increase in the value of property is not income but merely an unrealized increase. Now, so ibig sabihin, pag yung property may tumaas ang value, example, ang property mo ngayong 2021 is 200,000, then in 2022, ang kanyang value ay tumaas into 300,000. Di ba mga property tumataas ang value? No? Example, lupa. No? Ang lupa tumataas ang kanyang value. Okay? From 200,000 lupa, naging 300,000. So, meron siyang gain or nag-increase, meron siyang increase na 100,000. Ang tanong, yung increase ba sa lupa ay is it an income? No. Okay? Because that is mere increase in the value of property. Gain siya pero unrealized na. Sabi natin kanina, ang gain para makonsider si income dapat natanggap mo na or na-realize. So, ang pagtaas ng isang value ng isang property, hindi siya mako-consider as gain. So, hindi siya income, hindi siya taxable. Okay, when is income considered received? Ito yung sinasabi natin, kailan malalamang realized ang isang income? Yan. Pag yan ay talagang, alam mo, sigurado ka ng mayroong income, realize yan. No? And when are we going to consider that income is received?
Tutuloy natin yung discussion. Yung previous slide, yun yung actual receipt of income. Talagang nahawakan mo yung income mo and those are taxable. Ito naman mga constructive receipt. Ito yung opposite. Ito yung mga income na it goes to the account or set apart for a taxpayer and which may be drawn upon him at any time. Is subject to tax although not actually in possession sa dito. Example, you have a deposit in a bank, then sabi ng banko, you earned interest income of like 10,000 pesos. That will be credited to your bank account. Hindi mo pa nahawakan yung income na 10,000, the interest income na 10,000, hindi mo sa nahawakan. Pero, set aside na sa iyong bank account ito. No? Nobody can withdraw this one. You can have this 10,000 without condition. So, that is constructive. To constitute receipt in such a case, the income must be credited dun sa bank account ng taxpayer na walang condition, walang limitation, walang restriction. Talagang nasa sa kanya na to eh. So if that is the case, that is constructive receipt. And that is, maybe we don't know yet if when, pero that is already set aside. Talagang you already earned the income pero hindi mo pa nahawakan. Ito mga income na mga taxable. And let's move on sa ating slide. Okay. Some more on examples of constructive receipt. Interest income nga, no? Interest coupons which have matured and are payable to the depositor or to the owner or to the taxpayer but have not been cashed. Symbolic yung interest coupon that can be exchanged into cash later on without restriction. So pag nanalo ka, example, then mayroon kang claim stub, for example, that can be exchanged into cash. So that is constructive receipt. Although you don't have yet the cash, you don't possess yet the cash, pero set aside sa'yo. So, example lang yan, constructive receipt. Defaulted coupons then, example, may taong may utang sa'yo, then you are given a proof na nag-default So babayaran ka, although you don't have yet the payment. So constructive receipt. And the third sample of constructive, ito yung mga distributive shares sa profit ng isang partnership, ng isang general professional partnership. These are considered receipt, although not yet distributed. Example, merong tatlong partners, tatlo kayong professional, tatlo kayong accountants, so tatlong partners. In every income ng company, example, for year 2024, meron kayong income na 600,000. Then to be divided among the three of you, so they think 200,000, di ba? So set aside na to, hindi pa nabibigay sa inyo, siguro at a later date, pero you know that already have gained 200,000 pesos distributive share sa inyo. So sa'yo na yan, although hindi po ka nahati, pero you are sure that you will get the 200,000 pesos as your share in the general professional partnership. So that is constructive receipt and payable. So yung mga tatlong klase ng constructive receipt na not actual, you have not yet received, pero to be given to you. Now, are the following income? I have samples here ng mga what can we say, irregular type of income, and we should consider if ito ba yung mga income, pag income, so that is taxable. If not an income, so that is not taxable. Ang una, yung you found a treasure. Is that an income? Yes, that is an income. Okay? Alam, mga treasure ng sample sa sarili mong lot, lupa. May nahukay na ginto, jewelry, silver coins, or artifacts. Considered treasure. So, those are income. Yes, no? About punitive damages, nanalo ka sa kaso, then you claim a damages against your opponent sa kaso. Example, lost income, no? Umating ka ng kaso, then you have a lost income, araw-araw umating ka doon, hindi ka nakapagtrabaho. So you claim a damages amounting, the example, 100,000 pesos. So yung damages na i-award ng court sa'yo, those are samples of income. So, still damages for breach of promise or an alienation of affection. Asawa ka, no? Example, you are the wife, then you claim you filed ang kaso to, BAUSI, violence against women and children. Ayan, they failed, your estranged husband failed to give you financial support for 1 year na. Then sabi ng korte, iyaran mo yung asawa mo ng 100,000 pesos as damages. So income, no? That is income, yes. About worthless debt subsequently collected. Pag sinabi natin mga debt, yung mga utang, example, nagpautang ka, no? Pinautang kang tao amounting to 50,000 pesos. Then 5 taon kang hindi binayaran. Then you already considered that receivable from that person is already worthless or uncollectible, doubtful accounts. Hindi na makolekta kasi 5 years nakaraan, so worthless na yan or doubtful. Then subsequently, after 5 years, biglang nagbayad yung umutang sa'yo. So is that an income? Yes, that is still an income. Receivable pa rin yan Kahit matagal na siyang na worthless, 5 taon na, so still that is a receivable, so income. Then the next one, ito yung mga tax refund. So mga wife, minsan hindi niyo alam na meron palang tax refund yung asawa niyo. Hindi sinasabi. Pag may nakuha siyang tax refund na buo, so hindi siya taxable. So kailan nangyayari ang tax refund? Tax refund, nangyayari yan, binibigay ng company niyo pag sumobra yung binabawas sa inyong withholding tax bawat payday. Okay? Sample, sa buong 2024, ang binawas ng company mo sa iyo as tax withheld is 10,000. Then the BIR considered, ang tax mo talaga ay 9,000 lang. So 9,000, ang binabayad mo ay 10,000, so sobra ka ng bayad, 1,000. So yung 1,000, babalik dapat sa yan ng company. So we call that a tax refund. And tax refund is not an income. So hindi siya taxable. Yan. Okay? Next one, non-cash benefits na binibigyan ng mga company nyo. Example, yung company nyo may pabahay, libreng apartments, mga empleyado, libreng kotse sa mga empleyado, libreng lunch. So those are not considered as income. No. Sorry. Non-cash benefits pala. Non-cash benefits is considered an income pa rin. Income from illegal sources. So, income pa rin yan, no? From the point of view of the BIR, income pa rin yan. Kasi ang BIR, hindi naman tinatanong kung saan nanggaling yung income mo. Ano mga illegal sources? Example, ang business mo ay illegal recruitment. So, meron kang income yung business mo, merong income for 2024 na 200,000 pesos from illegal recruitment. So, income. That is income, yes. How about psychological benefits of work? Psychological, na? Example, you are working isang magandang community, magandang company. At tuwang-tuwa ka, masayang-masaya ka dyan. Kasi dati pinagtatrabahuan mo, hindi masyado maganda. Then suddenly you transfer to a new company. Do you feel that psychologically you are very happy? You're happy in that new company. Maganda benefits. No? You are contented na mas masaya ka ngayon. So psychological, no? Pero hindi sa income. How about giveaway prizes? Yes, nanalo ka. Yes, that is your income. Nanalo ka sa loto. So, obviously, that is an income. Then scholarship given to you ng yung sariling company. Binigyan ka ng study scholarship. You will study abroad. You're given 1 million pesos income. Now, ang stock dividend, so hindi income ang stock dividend. Ang stock dividend, no, ito yung pag ikaw isang stockholder, shareholder ng isang company. Then yung company, they decided that instead of giving cash dividend in one particular year, so pwede siyang magbigay ng stock instead of cash. Dati, ang stock mo sa company, 1,000 shares lang, yung sabi ng company mo. Instead of cash, we're going to give stock dividend na 20 shares of stocks ngayong taon na to. So yung 1,000 stocks mo, dadagdagan ng 20 shares. Na? So, stock dividend yan. Ang companies naman, they can give different types of dividends. They can give cash dividend, they can give property dividend, and they can give as well stock dividends. So, stock dividends are non-taxable. Okay, so sa ating listing here, meron tayong tatlo lang na not considered as income, yung tax refund, psychological benefits, and stock dividends. Okay, so moving on to I doubt it if meron pa. I think this one is the last. This is the last slide. So I credit the following websites and Google. And thank you for ending sa aking video recording sa lesson na to in taxation, and hoping to see you all again, guys, sa mga susunod. Subscribe naman po. Thank you.